But we want to begin tonight with a story we've been covering for quite some time here on Court TV, and that is the saga of Britney Spears, the Free Britney movement. Take a look at what was happening outside of the courthouse today in Los Angeles, California.
What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Free Britney! When do we want it? Now! Ho ho! The conservatorship has got to go! Hey hey! Ho ho!
Britney fans protesting in the streets of Los Angeles today. Britney Spears returning to court today. And the big issue is her father still going to have control over Britney Spears? And you know the way the fans have reacted. Britney has been speaking out. Her attorney has been extremely aggressive in the words and statements he has made relative to Britney's father. And that seems to be the focus, what the game is right now for Britney Spears. We're going to get some information out of Los Angeles in just a moment. We do have her. Camila Bernal, CNN News Source reporter, joins us now in Los Angeles with the absolute latest in everything that's happening. So, Britney, back in court today. Give us the big headline.
Well, look, there's still so much excitement, so much celebration, just relief, because the fans here got exactly what they wanted. And of course, it's the same thing that Britney Spears wanted, because Jamie Spears is no longer in control. He is no longer the conservator of her estate. He is now suspended. That's what the judge decided. And look, this is an estate worth about $60 million. But it is important to point out that the conservatorship as a whole remains in place. There are two aspects of this conservatorship: the person and the estate. And Jamie Spears stepped down as the conservator of her person in 2019, but he was still controlling her money. He was still running the business. And so what the judge decided today is to instead put in place a temporary conservator of her estate. This is an accountant, a professional, and that's, of course, what they were hoping to get out of this hearing. Britney Spears' attorney saying that he wants a process. He wants a plan in terms of ending the conservatorship as a whole. And so the next hearing is scheduled for November 12th. Then they have another hearing in December. They want to go through the process of really organizing this next step for Britney, which is ending the conservatorship as a whole. But in the meantime, she will continue to have those conservators looking after her and organizing sort of every aspect of her life. But what they did not want was her father involved. Her attorney saying that Jamie Spears was cruel, toxic, and an abusive man, saying that Britney just wanted to wake up tomorrow without Jamie Spears being her conservator. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Britney Spears no longer has to answer to her father. And so moving forward, it's unclear exactly what will happen in terms of the charges that she said she wanted to press against her father, because she did say that this was conservatorship abuse. It's unclear if she's going to pursue that, but we do know that she wants this conservatorship to end. Of course, that's what many of the fans out here want. They have been out here hearing after hearing. They're not giving up. They were, of course, celebrating and cheering, crying. One of them just in tears on the floor, just so excited to hear that Jamie Spears is no longer in control. So this is sort of the beginning of the end for this entire conservatorship process. 13 years that will likely come to an end, and it could happen before the end of the year.
And at this point, so this is like winning the battle. There's still a war to be fought to get out from under the entire conservatorship. But Dad is now suspended. He's out of the picture. Any indication, a reaction from either Britney Spears or her legal team after this finally became official today, the suspension of Jamie Spears?
So Britney Spears was not in court. We thought that maybe she would call in to the hearing. She did not do that this time. So really, she's allowing her attorney, Matthew Rosengart, to sort of take charge. And as you mentioned earlier, he is aggressive. He is really making it clear that they want this to end and they want to do it the right way. That's why it's not ending today. It's going to be a process. And it's unclear exactly what the judge is going to ask for. She may want to see another evaluation. And look, Britney Spears has said that she does not want to go through another evaluation. So you're likely going to see her attorney fighting to not have an evaluation, but just a step-by-step sort of process to end the conservatorship as a whole. And that's what he signed up to do. The second that Britney Spears hired him, he said he would make this happen. He would be aggressive, he would defend her, and he would eventually get her out of this mess because, of course, she has made it very clear that she does not want this conservatorship.
Camila Bernal in Los Angeles for us tonight. Thanks so much. Great information, great reporting. All right, let's bring in our think tank, get some reaction. Joining us tonight in Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney Eklund Mercy. In Los Angeles, California, former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani. And in Phoenix, Arizona, the attorney who represented Jodi Arias, also the author of a great book series, Trapped with Ms. Arias. Kirk Nurmi is with us. All right, Eklund, usually ladies first, but tonight I'm going to start in Hollywood. Got to start with Mr. L.A., Nima Rahmani. Nima, how should this be perceived, what happened today? It's a suspension of Jamie, but it seems like she's got another hearing, and other people are still controlling her life and her money.
Vinny, I'm on Grand Avenue, 2 blocks from where all this is happening. I can see Camila. I just really changed out of my Free Britney shirt. So obviously a big win for Britney. We know that she wanted Jamie out, and she's been asking for this for a long time. But I got a question. Before he offered to resign, Jamie Spears filed a petition to terminate the conservatorship entirely. And I understand that former federal prosecutor Matt Rosengart wants to go through the process, but I don't see any reason why he hasn't filed a petition to terminate the conservatorship. It should have been terminated years ago. So hopefully this is the next to last step for Britney being freed entirely, because it should have happened a long time ago.
Eklund Mercy, I still don't understand all of this. Eklund cannot hear me, but Kirk can. Kirk, it's her money. It's her life. Her money, her life. I don't care if she spends it all in 5 days. She's earned the right to spend her own money. I mean, just because she was young when she earned it. I mean, what are we going to have? Conservatorships for every child star? We're going to have conservatorships for every athlete that signs this huge, multi-million-dollar contract? She's living her life. Let her live her life. Her money. Why should a judge have the final say over Britney's money?
I agree with you, Vinny. It doesn't make any sense. And we also talk about this, think about this 13 years. That's the hard part that for a lot of people to digest. I mean, yes, we saw some evidence of some mental breakdown in 2008, right, that she was struggling. But we don't impose a conservatorship like that on anybody else for this length of time, particularly somebody who is a viable working adult. We're not talking about someone who cannot function as an adult. Obviously, she's making money, more money than most of us. Maybe not you, Vinny, but more money than most of us. And here she is now under this conservatorship. But I actually think this might be a good first step. It's relieving to know that there's an accountant in this situation because, one of the things, if Britney does want to go after her dad, they're going to need to do a forensic accounting of every penny, everything he did, because it seems like apart from entering the conservatorship, she wants to go after her dad, and an accountant and his possible misuse of money is a perfect way to enable that process to go forward as well.
All right, Kirk, let's clarify everything here, though. Tonight on this program, there is only one person with 2 Teslas in the garage, and it's not me. All right, Eklund, let me ask you, Eklund. I'm offended by this. I'm actually offended by this whole process. I mean, when I think of conservatorship, I think of someone who is, senile to a certain extent. Maybe they're in a coma. They can't they can't do things that everyone else can do, like wake up and live your life. And she's doing it. I mean, I just think in our country, the judicial branch, some judge should not be controlling some pop superstars' money and life decisions, because ultimately it's the judge that has control over all of this at this point.
Yeah, well, cases like this unfortunately happens in California really quite often. Britney Spears is one of the few child actors that made the leap into being an adult entertainer. And from what we've seen in the past, you know what happens with child actors and child performers, and you know the toll that it takes on them emotionally as well as mentally. So, unfortunately, we have parents who, although, you know, want to be great to their kids, we still have the issue of predatory parents. That's why some of the laws have changed with regards to child actors, with regards to their parents. And unfortunately, it's Britney's case that kind of showed like where sometimes we drop the ball and then kick it. So now we have some protection because at the end of the day, Miss Spears had a moment in which she did need mental evaluation, in which she did need help. However, when you implore a conservatorship as restrictive as this one, and leave it in for the for perpetuity is a problem. So I feel that cases like this is very necessary. I think that her case can actually change the law and change it for the better.
Yeah, I think it's waking a lot of folks up. Nima, I'm not comfortable with because it's the government, you know, right? The judicial branch is part of the government. It's the government reaching into someone's personal life. I don't like that.
No one likes it, Vinny, and this is something that everyone can agree on. You're having congressional hearings, you got AOC on the left, you got Matt Gaetz on the right. I mean, everyone agrees that this is an abuse. There's no legal reason for Britney Spears to be under a conservatorship. And both in California, the legislature is considering reform, and even at the federal level. So this is a terrible thing that's happened. And I'm not comparing the two because they're very different. But when there's a lot of media attention, including here on Court TV, on something like George Floyd, you know, we're seeing change. We're seeing police reform. And I can guarantee you there will be conservatorship reform. I'm sorry Britney's had to suffer for 13 years and maybe being milked out of millions of dollars. But I guarantee you, Vinny, things will change because of Britney Spears.
Yeah, Kirk, they have to, because I believe you're entitled to make bad decisions if she does. And if, in fact, the conservatorship ends and, you know, she loses $30 million in wherever, so be it. It was her money to lose. It's like we shouldn't be like jumping in and saying, no, we got to take care of you because you're not so good with money, or you're going to make bad decisions, or you don't understand all these numbers. Well, she can understand how to hire an accountant if she wants and hire a lawyer, right? I mean, you don't need someone to actually grant you permission to live your life and spend your own money.
But
you're right, Vinny, and that is the foundation of this country. And you're right, just like Neiman just said, nobody likes this. It's invasive. It's incredibly demonstrative of the power of the government. But also, look, you know, you say good choices or bad choices, they're hers to make. And who are we to say whether they're good or bad, right? As long as she's not harming anybody else. And that's why this conservatorship, and like Nima said, this is at the forefront of change, right? Britney is, this whole case, the publicity it gets, the people we see marching on the streets are going to motivate politicians to react, to get stricter standards on conservatorships, on what they can do, and the kind of power they can have over somebody.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Again, the big headline, Jamie Spears is out of the picture. But Britney Spears, for those of you who want to free Britney, she's still not free tonight.